Hello everyone, I'm Paolo Del Nibletto, the editor of CDN, Computer Dealer News, here at the Top 100 Solution Provider event in North Toronto. My guest is James Alexander, key analyst for Infotech Research of London, Ontario. He presented to over 40 VARs today on knowing the customer. James, thanks a lot for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
James, what would be the one piece of advice you can give the VAR community on really knowing their customer?
Well, Paolo, I think, as a VAR, we've all grown up really around technical certification, around having that competency to install, to support, and manage. In today's environment, we need to develop competencies around really business issues. And so I think the biggest thing that the VARs have to do to be successful today is to begin to have those business conversations with their customers, because it's the business conversations that are driving technology adoption today.
What do you think the vendors should do to give more and help more to the VAR community?
Again, I think vendors have got to go back to their roots in terms of how they manage VAR programs. And by going back to their roots, I mean, they really have to understand that VARs are small businesses. VARs are medium-sized businesses. They have to have the conversation with VARs that help them to run their business, not just help them to sell technology. So one of the things that we hear repeatedly from VARs is that, no, the vendor reps want me to sell, but that's the extent of the relationship. So I think to the extent that they can have, again, to the extent that they can have business issue conversations with VARs, to the extent that they can equip VARs to have business issue conversations with their customers in turn, that's really going to drive greater loyalty and greater success.
One of the biggest issues that came out of the discussion was that solution providers really are not selling vendor package services out there. Why do you think so?
A couple of issues that are driving that behavior. One of them is that VARs and the partner community in general is used to having a direct relationship with the customer where they can prove their own value. And I think they're a little concerned that they may lose some of that value proposition. They may lose some control of the customer relationship if they are not providing all of the services inherently themselves. I think that's one issue. A second issue that we've heard with some of the programs, VARs actually resell the services on behalf of the vendor community, but then the vendor may contract the VAR's competitor to go in and deliver those services. So I'm certainly, as a VAR, not going to be inclined to resell a service that introduces my competitor into my customer base. So, I think those are a couple of issues. I mean, I think the third issue is vendors just need to find the right mix of services that supplement and complement the services that a VAR can deliver. So if as a VAR, for example, I deliver break-fix services, but I don't deliver business process consulting services, then I would definitely be willing to, more likely at least, to enhance my service offering to my customer by reselling that service delivered by my manufacturer.
Well, that was a terrific educational session this afternoon, James, and thank you very much for clicking on to the Top 100 coverage. I'm Paolo Del Nibletto for CDN Computer Dealer News.